is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the 2023 edition of the Dead Red Podcast with myself and the one and only SoxArizona, who's got a Red Sox helmet on to open the show. He's, of course, also got a Red Sox jersey on as well, as I am repping our merch. Thank you, Hayes, for the merch, as usual, and also the poster in the back. But what's going on, everybody? Like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Are we connecting, Sox? You good?
Are we good? You got me?
I got you, man.
All right.
So shout out to everybody in the chat. Tony, Jeff, Cookus, all you guys, share out, like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Sox, if I'm not mistaken, you're almost at 1,000 on Big Beat Reactions. Is that true?
We're slowly but surely getting there. We finally posted Tony's, request from a long time ago. So, we're doing well over there. It's exciting to be close to 1,000, but I know you're doing well too from your shorts. So it's nice to see.
Yes, of course. Our goal here is to get to 1,000 by opening day, but knowing baseball season and, the Giants, we should crush that by opening day. If we don't,
yeah, for sure,
be a little disappointed.
No, you will. And you got merch. I mean, come on, this is a real deal over here.
Thank you to Hayes for. I don't know if some of you guys know in the chat. I know maybe Jeffrey knows and Tony knows, but Hayes has gifted me with a lot of different Christmas gifts of recent, like that poster in the back, just hanging over my head, MetLife Stadium and the old Yankee Stadium, and of course gave us some merch. So. As I always advertise, it's less likely on this show before we get into first thoughts and everything. Big Blue in the Bronx bingo. You guys can play it. If you strike 5 terms in a bingo alignment, terms being catchphrases, you get to win some merch from us. So this applies to all live streams, game calling, Friday Night Knicks, Boys in the Big Apple, most importantly. So there is where you could win the merch. And trust me, once we get to 1,000, me, Donald, and of course, my brother have already started talking about what we could do with 1,000 memberships and all that stuff. So it doesn't stop there. But shouts to Hayes. What is going on, my man? But to get deeper into the sports world, baseball is dead right now. It's January, so you're not going to get too much baseball content, baseball news, but we're still doing some general baseball stuff, some fun activities for you, like kind of we did at the end of the year show. Also, we're going into the NFL, playoff picks, trivia, all these different things, because the NFL is still alive and the Giants are still alive.
Oh, my goodness.
That we'd be saying that. But what's up to the chat? Share us out, guys. Let's get into our first thoughts. Sox, how are you, my man?
Doing well. The Giants just keep rolling. I think it's something to do with me picking them every week. That's what it is. I something special going on. Obviously, it's Daboll and the staff that Shane has put together. It's just a magical year. I was just thinking to myself that this is probably the most fun I've had watching a Giants team, in my life. I was 13 years old the last time they won a playoff game. So I didn't know ball like I know ball now. And it's just I think this is the most fun we've had as Giants fans, and it's nice to ride this wave. Baseball's dead right now. I always said basketball season starts after football season, and I have not watched any NBA this year because I'm riding high on this Giants, just taking in content every day. So those real Giants fans, you know what it's like. So it's fun.
Thank you so much, Jeffrey. He also says he's hit his goal of 280 before then. He's also hit 281 this morning. So, as I said, growing the content, obviously, putting out videos. People are going to watch. People are going to subscribe and do all the good stuff. Shout out to Tony for tweeting us out on Twitter.
Tony.
But, yeah, I'm kind of like you, man. In 2007, I was fucking 4 years old, okay?
Yeah.
I was 4 years old. In 2011, I was in 3rd grade. I kind of hated football, but the Giants were in the playoffs doing all these different things. So I'm like, I kind of watched it, but I don't have memories of it. Like, I'll go and rewatch a game. Like, I think I rewatched a few years ago the Packers game, the 49ers game, the Patriots Super Bowl, both of them. So it's not like I don't remember shit, but I didn't watch it in the time, So this is like you, man. This is the most fun I've had watching a Giants team. This is my favorite Giants team up to this point. We've had so many dead years. We've had so many bad years. And
Yeah.
now it's just great. And, you're talking about baseball. You're talking about, basketball and all these different sports, right? Well, for baseball, I'm disappointed with the Yankees. I'm going to be completely fair. They made one move and dipped. I know I was talking
Right.
to Donald actually after last night's Wizards Knicks stream, and he's not too down on them as I am, but I just feel they're selling us the same shit as every year. My personal opinion, but obviously once we get closer to baseball season, that opinion is going to be more shared. And then for basketball, I mean, I try to follow along as best as possible, but the Knicks, the way they're playing basketball, it's not very sustainable. And then hockey, I try to keep along, but it's very hard to keep up with 4 sports at the same time. Hayes says, Alex making me feel old. Alex puts out great content. The Wizards beat the Knicks last night. Sox.
Yeah.
Eagles are going to bury the Giants, but at least they got this far. That's not happening.
Tony.
No. You listen, you've been wrong about a lot of things, Tony. We have too, but listen.
Got to be transparent here.
You got to, hold on, I got to pull this up. Yeah, you got to be completely transparent, as Lucas says.
Oh my God. Honestly, I didn't even know that was on the bingo card. God damn it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Shout out to Jace. Haven't seen you before. Maybe I have, but definitely hit that like button. Subscribe to both channels. Also, Big B Reactions, guys. I think you're like 6 subs away from the 1,000 mark.
Yes.
So we got to share him out. We got to get him to 1,000.
Appreciate that.
All of what you need to subscribe, follow to, it's in the description. A ton of people help out with our channels. But yeah, shout out to Jace. I disagree very much with that because you said the Texans would win against the Giants. You said the Commanders would win against the Giants that second time. So, I mean, we're both wrong in different things, but I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to take my Giants this weekend, hint, and picks.
Yeah.
The Wizards beat the Knicks last night. Sox, quick question. What do you think about Sox signing Adam Duvall? Did they officially sign him?
Yeah. To be honest with you, I don't know if it's official or not. I think it is, but I like it. I didn't like it at first, but you think we just needed a right-handed power hitter, and for the price, he can make up to $10 million. I think it is with incentives. For the price, he'll give you a lot of power, and his role is going to be a lot of defense because the outfield's in a lot of question marks right now in the outfield. So he'll bring a lot to the defensive side of things, and then he'll hopefully hit 30 bombs if he's healthy. He had a tough year last year with the injuries, but we'll see how it goes. I like it.
Tony says, Big Beat is doing my favorite song ever tomorrow. Can't wait for that.
Tony, that's tonight. I thought it was tonight.
You're releasing that tonight.
Yeah, Tony, you got it. I think it's right now.
Wow. Okay.
Anyways.
Jay says he's from St. Louis. Yeah, we got another loyal supporter that comes in. His name is Jeff Nelson. He'll pop in every once in a while. And, he's from St. Louis too. So we'll talk, some St. Louis sports, whatever subjects he brings us, guys. Bombard the comment section with your questions because that will be a big part of today's show. That will be on Sunday, actually. So just want to give an update before we head to, our first topic for the night. And, of course, your questions, whatever. Tomorrow, well, we got Dead Red now. Tomorrow at 5:30 is the Friday Night Knicks podcast with Luca and Donald. Saturday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is a live edition of the Big Blue, the Bronx podcast previewing the Eagles game. So there's that. I'll have an Eagles content creator, not beat writer, but a blogger on. Sunday's a call-in show. It's going to be about at 8:30. Monday, Boys in Big Apple. Tuesday, the recap of the Eagles game. Just keep flowing the content out, sharing, doing all the good stuff from you guys, for you guys, and then you guys giving it back by the likes and all the support. We appreciate that. So, yes, the call-in show will be on Sunday. I'll either be in a happy mood or a very somber mood.
God damn it.
Yes, I did see the question regarding Adam
and
Duvall.
I got to put on the record, Tony's right. Tomorrow morning will be the premiere of his request on Big B Reactions.
So be sure to check that out and share out Sox's channel. I know Sox was on a little bit of a stall a little bit, but hey, listen, when you get the chance to make content, you get the chance to make content. What jersey you have on tonight? This
is JD. And you know what? I just realized I don't have any current Sox players' jerseys, and I got quite a few. But they've been dealt. Xander's gone, JD's gone, and that's how it is.
Besides Xander and JD, who else you have?
I have quite a few. Xander, JD. I think I have 2 Xander Bogaerts jerseys. I got a Pedroia jersey, David Ortiz. A lot of older players, you know. My
At least you
childhood
got,
was inspired by those.
yeah, I mean, at least like I know obviously there's no such thing as a loyal player anymore, but like Dustin Pedroia, he was a lifetime Red Sox.
Yeah.
David Ortiz, I mean, he was a Twin, but
I mean,
he was known for being a Red Sox. So,
right.
You know,
The Twins actually slept on that guy, which I can't still.
Yeah,
I still
they
can't
had him as
believe
an
to this
outfielder
day.
for the first part of his career.
Yeah,
And then they wanted him to play him at first base, but then the Red Sox put him in his niche at DH, and he's a Hall of Famer
rest
now.
is history. Yes, sir.
Not that he should have gotten in before Barry Bonds and all those different people, but
I mean, that's a different conversation.
I don't think he's first ballot, but listen, he's in.
I think he's first ballot, but I also am one of those guys that I think Barry Bonds is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Barry Bonds, Kurt Schilling.
I mean, put Pete Rose in there too. I don't care,
Pete
man.
Rose. I mean, they made money for baseball.
Yeah.
Well, why not put him in? But shout out to you guys in the chat. So one of our first topics of the night, and we were talking about jerseys. I think we ought to go into this. As I said, if baseball's kind of dead right now. Shout outs to my man, Jacob. What's going on?
What's
man?
up, Jacob?
Alex, do you want to know the score? Yeah, why not? Keep us updated, Jeffrey.
Yes, please.
I know you said that the Celtics were down 1 or they were up 1. I have jerseys of Bagwell, Biggio, Randy Johnson, Cal Ripken, and Travis Lee. I feel like I know who he is, but I'd have to look him up to just like refresh my memory. But the rest of them I know. I mean, those are easy baseball players. But we were talking. Baseball's dead. Okay, baseball's dead for the moment. There's not much movement. There's not much news. So you have to get creative, and I still would like to get creative as much as I can in terms of topics, in terms of segments on here. And this one I just decided on a couple of days ago. I'm like, you know what? We're gonna do this because it's kind of a rivalry week, Giants-Eagles, but at the same time, this is a rivalry podcast. We do root for the same football team, but this is a rivalry podcast, and sometimes you have a liking for a rival player, and you don't even know it, and you have to, at least in this round. So before I get to the comment section, the name of the game for this segment is picking your favorite players from a rival team. And obviously he's going to pick, meaning Sox, he's going to pick some of his favorite Yankees by position. So I will do the Red Sox, but former D-back and Yankee. Let me look up Travis Lee.
Okay, yeah. I thought about the D-backs when I heard Travis Lee. I'm not too familiar with him, though.
Maybe if I see his face at MVP Baseball 2005, then. But he probably didn't do too much with the Yankees. The way Dave's was talking, sounds like Shep might be a coach next year if he retires. Yeah, I mean, it's one of two things. I think Shep's going to be a Giant next year, no matter what. If he retires, and I don't think he wants to, if he retires, listen, he'll probably become an offensive assistant. And then if he doesn't retire, I think the Giants will probably sign him at like the minimum deal for a vet. Sox, do you think the Giants will beat the Eagles?
Now, Nimmer, how long you been watching this episode? This is episode 29 now. I'm just giving you a hard time. Of course, I think the Giants are riding high. I think it's a kind of a disadvantage having that first round bye if you have a team that's riding hot. And the Giants, that Minnesota win was huge, especially after what happened on Christmas Eve. So Giants are going to go in there, and we'll see Dallas. Hopefully that's not my pick. I'm just saying, hopefully it's Dallas in the NFC Championship.
Well, I got to remind you of one thing, Sox. They're going to definitely cover this. You know what? You know what's funny about this? Jacob brings up a good point here. The Giants were 7.5-point underdogs in 2007 against the Cowboys. Yeah. Just a fun fact. As an Orioles fan, we hate the Yankees, but I was a fan of Paul O'Neill. Paul O'Neill's great. I mean, I know a lot of people, like to crap on Paul O'Neill or whatever, but I never really had a problem with him. Obviously, I didn't get to see him in his playing years, but yeah, Daniel Jones I've accepted him as the franchise quarterback. Absolutely. I know Sox has been on that train for a while, so shout outs to Sox. It's tied going in overtime. Let's see. We haven't played Philly healthy. No, we haven't. We haven't been the best team when we've played Philly, and it's very hard to beat a team 3 times. I mean, before we go into our baseball subject, and guys keep spamming the comment section with your comments
Absolutely.
and questions, is in 2007, the Giants in the divisional round knocked off the 1 seed, and then they went to the championship round and knocked off the 2nd seed. So if you want to talk about 2007 in terms of like comparisons, not that I want to listen, this team has its own expectations and they have their own culture and all these different
they
things.
do.
You know, obviously I'm a person where I really don't like to compare different things, but there are some similarities. And Daniel Jones is in his 4th year, like Eli Manning was. Everybody was ready to run him out of town, just like they were, you know, running Daniel Jones out of town until this year. But he's definitely coming back. Yes, Hayes was also one of those guys as well. You know, I was pretty much in the middle with Daniel Jones coming in. I'm like, you know what? I don't know what I see in terms of expectations. I don't think he's going to be the future, but I'm not going to be like Donald hated him.
We knew he had to prove himself. Everybody knew
Yeah. But Donald like hated him coming into the year. He will admit it.
Yeah.
And he's turned a corner.
Yeah.
He's turned a corner.
A lot of people did.
No, that's definitely true, man. Dan Wink and Kafka grinding as they prepare and for coaching us versus Philly. Then they have each other. Then they have interviews on Sunday. I kind of don't like them taking interviews on this Sunday because that's an extra day of preparation. If we win, I'm not saying we will. If we win, that's an extra day of preparation for either the 49ers, the Cowboys. So there's that. Brad, the 49er fan from Australia, says if you were the Niners, then 3 wins is easy. Purdy's not better than Jones.
No, sorry. Purdy's got a lot around him that makes him successful. And he's a good quarterback. It's obvious. Mr. Irrelevant, but if Jones had McCaffrey and Bosa on the defense, Jones would be balling.
It's literally a perfect system for a quarterback. Like
yes,
you have a talented defense year after year. It's a system defense, and literally is because I'm not a 49er fan. Maybe Brad can tell me. I don't think much has changed between Sal and DeMeco Ryans. And then you look at the quarterback situation. Trey Lance, he wasn't doing so good at the beginning of the year. Then you have Jimmy G, who's doing all right, gets injured, Brock Purdy. And like Jimmy G, he'll make stupid decisions to cost you games, but he will do enough. And that's what the system is all about. That's what the quarterback system is all about, is just doing enough. You have a very good running game. You have a very good defense, and you have solid wide receivers. So that's, again, I'm not making excuses for Daniel Jones, but I'm just saying Purdy is in literally one of the more perfect systems in the NFL. And I think the 49ers, right now, if you want my personal opinion, they're my pick to go to the Super Bowl, but I'm going to shut my mouth from there.
That's enough.
Sox, as a Red Sox fan, are you frustrated with the lack of direction, and what are your expectations personally for this season?
It's a little disappointing. I think that there's probably more to come, but we knew we needed a right-handed bat, and I guess one step at a time. I'm expecting, personally, I want to not finish in last place. Realistically, that's what we're looking at right now.
Yeah, I agree. I see my earliest thoughts are the Red Sox finishing in last. We'll see what happens because prediction time in March is going to be a fun time for predictions. Just also give me 1 second because I want to shout something out real quick and put it in the chat. I'm going to put it right here and I'll announce it. 1 solid second. I'm going to put it in both chats. Why not? Okay, so real quickly before I get the rest of your comments, guys, NYY News TV Day is happening again April 1st. It looks to be Carlos Rodon's first start. And we're upgrading a little bit here not here, but at NYY News TV. Suite section this time on the 3rd level. Get a rotating menu of, I got to pull it up, chicken, fish, steak, seafood, pasta, salad, desserts, and non-alcoholic beverages throughout the 7th inning. And even when the 7th inning is done and the food and all that stuff is done, we get to stay in a suite. I think the limit is 100 right now, looking to try to stretch it to 110. But Pete of NYY News TV has been working his ass off. So and there's going to be more events like me and Sox have talked about on a brief note, possibly going to Boston in June, which Sox has never been to Fenway before. I've never been to Boston before, which is going to be an interesting endeavor if we do pull that off. And I believe we will. Obviously, there's also going to be other NYY News TV events. So just going to keep you guys obviously in the know. My prediction is Giants 35 and the Eagles 30. It's an interesting score prediction. I don't think it's going to be that high. I don't think it's going to be that high, in my personal opinion. Donald made my blood pressure go up. Oh, I guess for right now, he's turned a corner. As I know Brad's referencing in the next comment because I said it, but he's turned a corner in the belief of Daniel Jones. So there's that. Alex has turned into Boone and is turning the corner. I think Aaron Boone, don't quote me on this, Sox. I think he's not a Red Sox fan. Jesus Christ. I think he's an Eagles fan.
Oh, okay. Really?
If I'm not mistaken, because I was talking with a buddy of mine from MLB News TV. He's like, he's a fucking Eagles fan. I'm like, you're not serious.
That makes me love him even more.
Is this because Trevor Lawrence has never lost on a Saturday in his life?
Yes, 147-0. That's what I was going to bring up during our picks, but might as well just spill it out right now. That's a big
You
deal.
think that's an upset?
I think that's a big deal. I'm not calling it an upset yet, but that guy's got some. He's the guy there. That's for sure.
Even after the many interceptions in that first half.
Hey, Dak throws a lot of guys throw a lot of picks.
I guess if they could rebound, is your point there?
Talk about a big rebound, 27-0. That's a hell of a rebound.
Yeah. My brother. So we were doing picks, obviously, for Boys in the Gapple, and for me and a friend of mine. And Luca picked the Chargers. I picked the Jacksonville Jaguars. And he keeps complaining because he lost that pick. He goes, "Oh, the game was so scripted." I said, "Yeah, fuck off."
Yeah, whatever.
But before we move on a little bit more, I did calculate the end of the year records. So Sox's final record, and he was nearing under 500 for a little bit, but finished over. If I got these records correct, 151 and 120 for Sox. For me, 168 and 103.
We both made so much money if we're betting money.
We are. We would have. And literally, I have to go back to reference Donald again because he's been saying it for the last few weeks. He goes, people literally get paid to predict shit like this, and then there's us on the money. And I won in the standings of the Boys in the Big Apple picks as well. So just wanted to pat myself on the back right there. Jones would be a top 5 QB with a supporting cast in San Francisco. It's definitely possible. Did you see Patriots interview Bill O'Brien today? Yeah, he was their offensive coordinator before. I don't know if he's going to work out. I mean, he could. He was a solid coach, just obviously not a head coach and not a GM. But that would be a Patriots thing to hire Bill O'Brien back. Jacksonville definitely covering the spread. Ryans might be leaving for a head coach job as well. And just going to put it out there, guys. We're going to be doing head coaching predictions later in the show, which I've never done before, but we're going to do it. Shouts to Almighty. Not much of a difference between Salah and DeMeco Ryans, of course. That's what I was wondering. Wait, got to go up all the way. Hold on. I missed a fucking load of comments. This team is loaded Pro Bowlers like the Eagles. Yeah, the Niners, definitely. Alex, that's getting clipped. You're backing the Niners. I'm not. Well, for the Super Bowl, I'm saying they are my pick, but obviously your Niners could also lose this Sunday.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there, Brad. Just putting it out there. But he is rooting for the Giants, I must say. He is rooting for the Giants against the Eagles. So I have to give him that load of credit.
All right.
Giants has added to Sal's defensive plan. Red Sox back to wooden spoons. Back-to-back wooden spoons. If the Giants want to win, it can't be a shootout. We're not winning a shootout. No, I agree. Man. I think it's going to be very much run the ball, ground and pound, control the clock. Not that I want it to be, but hey. He is an Eagles fan and a USC Trojans fan. If you're referencing Aaron Boone in this tweet,
it's
Jacob,
Boone, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna punch him in the fucking face. I'm a Notre Dame fan and I'm a Giants fan. So he knows how to fucking bust my balls. Boone and Canley. I know Canley's an Eagles fan. I didn't know Boone was till tonight. Pissed me off with that. Shouts to Evan. What's going on, my man? Got to meet Evan at the Colts game. Got to meet Evan at the Colts game and a couple other guys on Popular Opinion Sports who you see in here, Matt Riley. So it was a fun experience. And we won that day. This is our first podcast since the new year, so I haven't talked to Sox about my experience. But yeah, I was lit in the morning. Not gonna lie, because you have to celebrate a little bit before you go out.
Of course.
Go in the stadium. Let's see what else we got in the comment section. Do you think the Bills or Bengals will win this Sunday? Don't want to spoil too much because we do have our annual pick segment. They'll be nearing the 1 hour mark of the show. Sox, I'm watching a movie in honor of you, The Town. Yes, with Ben
Honestly,
Affleck.
Oh, Ben. Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Jones and Wink. No. Wink's not going to Houston. Stop that. Stop that right now. Not at all. Jets getting Roman and Jackson. We will see. I don't think so, Jacob. John Harbaugh said since Roman is fired, Jackson gets a lot of input in terms of who their next offensive coordinator is. So I don't think he's leaving. Do you think Ken Dorsey gets the Panthers head coaching job? I know their owner's doing whatever it takes to get Sean Payton. So it's very possible that, it could be Ken Dorsey, but I don't know. Josh Allen has a lot of turnovers this year. Shout out to my man, L.I. Yankee King. So who are the Giants going after in head coach? Oh, wait, we got Brian Daboll. Let's go. Yes. For the first time in years, people,
God.
we're not talking about, head coach, quarterback, running back. I mean, O-line is going to be, it's been better than past years, what I say. It's been better than past years. So,
and for the first time, there are coordinators are getting big head coaching interviews. I haven't heard about that in a long time either.
When was the last? Like Patrick Graham, he did. He did after the years with the Giants, but 2 coordinators, 2.
Yeah.
So we got 16 total in the chat right now. Like up, subscribe, both channels, and our buddy Sox Arizona is only 6 subscribers away from the 1,000 mark on Big Beat Reactions. So I'm going to need you to go subscribe there.
Appreciate it.
And you could request music.
Yes, request your favorite song. All of you, do it. I promise you we'll put on the list.
Eagles, Bengals, I've been seeing it since week 8. I've seen that. I've seen your prediction, and I've also seen many other predictions that go in that tail for the Super Bowl. And, the last time those two faced, I believe they tied. So there's just that fun fact. Tell Angry John the Jets are interviewing Joe Judge for offensive coordinator. I would have to make some sort of beat account on Twitter and tell him that, and then he'd probably flip. But it'd be interesting. Boone from Southern Cal, so it makes sense. Well, he could have picked another California team.
Yeah, or any other team except the Yankees. Except the Eagles.
Absolutely. California likes Kafka too. That they do.
Yeah.
That they do. But I don't think either is leaving. I could be wrong. Very much so wrong. All right. So Sox is 7 subscribers away from the what do you call it? So looks like you lost one, guys. But you gained one. Gain a couple.
Let's go.
Please, Mike Kafka, come back as offensive coordinator. To be serious, I think Houston gets the OC from Detroit. Ben Johnson isn't leaving. He already said that, and he what do you call it? He just signed a big contract extension with them. So Tony, already announced going back to Lions. Have you reacted to story games?
No, I heard of that, man. Make sure you put it in the comments over there. We'll put it on the list.
Yes, sir. 113-121, Boston Celtics up 38 minutes left. We said it going to overtime, so
38 seconds maybe.
38. He probably means 38 seconds. But obviously, you guys spam the comment section with your questions and your comments and all that stuff. As we're gonna break into an interesting segment here. A couple minutes in, favorite players from the Red Sox and Yankees. Obviously, Sox is doing the Yankees. I'm doing the Red Sox because baseball is dead. We want to continue the baseball culture on here, though. Sox, I'm going to have you go first, and we're not going to go by position. We will, but whatever player you want to list out first, it's kind of like drafting, if you will. So let's say you throw out a Yankees first baseman that you really like and you talk about him. That's going to go on the board first, so on and so forth. Obviously, it isn't a draft because I'm not picking any Yankees players. But if you want to go ahead, start.
Okay, but we're going to do – I'm going to tell you one and you're going to tell me one, or are we going to go by position? Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll go in order. I'm looking at, all-time Yankees catchers. I think it's interesting how many, decent catchers the Yankees have had in their existence, but I think Jorge Posada probably, just because of the history of me watching them growing up, and the rivalry between them when Poppy and the boys were playing. I think I'll put Jorge Posada as my favorite game.
2003, the
Yep.
ALCS. I think it was Game 3.
Yes,
But,
Game 3.
that sticks in my head. And you're onto something. You're kind of reading my mind a little bit with that. I'll tell you why in a second. I request God of War 1, 2, 3 Chains of Olympic Ghost Sparta Story. So I guess that is some music to react to.
You know what? I'll put that on the list. I'll go back and put that on the list. I got you.
All right. Thank you, LI Yankee King, for the request. And
Appreciate
favorite
that.
active Yankee is Anthony Rizzo. So there is that. Rizzo is a likable guy, though. So you list Jorge Posada, and I said you read my mind about that ALCS Game 3 type stuff. And I'm going to go with one guy that I think he's criminally underrated, and I think that he should have gone into the Hall of Fame this year. He also went to a high school in New York City and played against my former English professor. That man is Manny Ramirez.
Yes.
He is going to be my left fielder, Manny Ramirez.
Okay. I guess I'll keep going in order here. I'm going to put at first base. You know, I do like Anthony Rizzo a lot, and I told you that when they first brought him in. I thought he was going to be a good fit there.
There's
But
a lot of talk about him going to the Red Sox like a few different times, but
there was, yeah.
I thought of something, and then I'm like, you know what? He didn't because which team did he start with? The Padres?
I think he started with the Padres. Yes, you're right.
So I'm like, it was either the Padres or the Red Sox. And I'm like, you know what? No, he started with the Padres and moved on to the Cubs, and then because I was thinking like, no, he didn't start with the Red Sox, but there were talks of him being a Sox. My favorite Red Sox was Nomar Garcia-Parra. I didn't get to see Garcia-Parra a lot in my time, obviously, and he's mad with me because I didn't see him. Oh, he started with the Red Sox. Okay, so I wasn't totally completely insane.
Yeah, see, I didn't even know that. Did they draft him? They must have drafted him.
Well, let's take a look at that. I must have been thinking of somebody else. Anthony Rizzo. Yeah, he was a 6th-round draft choice out of Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. And then he was a Padre, and then he was a Cub, and then he was a Yankee. So
okay.
I wasn't totally off there. Yep. Thank you, Jacob, for the
Thank you, Jacob.
But you're taking Anthony Rizzo.
I'll take Anthony Rizzo. Why not? Yeah. Since he started with the Sox, I'll take him.
Of course, got to slip that Sox reference in there. So Anthony Rizzo. All right. LI Yankee King says his favorite Red Sox was Dustin Pedroia. Yep, Rizzo was Red Sox. They traded him in the Peavy deal, I believe. Quite interesting, Jake Peavy. All right. I got to do some brainstorming for this one. I'm not going to say that Jason Varitek is going to be my favorite because I don't like what happened with him and A-Rod in 2004. Well, of course. Shaz Justice Mess, what is going on, my man? I don't know. I mean, I used to watch that just like remix. They used to have, I don't know if it's still on YouTube, but there was a video of them obviously brawling from 2004, and someone was like playing it over with the Eminem song. I forget what it was. I forget the name, but just that's how like I watched it so many times, so I knew. And yeah, that's why it's like one of the reasons. And the Yankees haven't had too many brawls with the Red Sox in recent years, other than Tyler Austin and Joe Kelly.
Yeah.
Best Sox ever I saw was Jim Rice. Wow, that's going back a little bit, but yeah, I do remember. I do know who Jim Rice was. Yes, Tony Clark and Tony Clark, first baseman. Tony Clark was a first baseman for the Yankees, I believe, in 2004. But not this Tony Clark, of course. Yeah. Relevant fan and Tony Clark, two different guys. Just beat Golden State 118 to 121. All right. Thank you, Jeffrey, for the information. See, I kind of knew there was some connection there. Adrian Gonzalez. Kind of knew there was some connection.
Okay.
Kind of knew there was some sort of connection there. Because I'm like, wait, Gonzalez started as a Padre, but he was also a Sox. So I'm like, I was trying to make the connection. And I'm like, okay, all right, fair enough. Shout outs to Jets Mess, Tony. I believe Tony Clark played for both teams. Did he play? I know he was a Tiger for a little bit. Let's take a look. Tony Clark. He was a Sox 2002. He was actually a Met the next year as well. He was with the D-backs in 05 to 07, was a Padre, was a D-back again, but he started his career with the Tigers, so I'm not totally once again off with that. See, I know myself.
Okay. Yeah. It's all coming together.
All right, so I gotta brainstorm here.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, first of all, I didn't think we were going to be doing this segment today, which is a very nice surprise to be like, oh, we can go through and pick our,
Yeah, because it takes time. It's not easy one.
It's not very easy to pick my favorite Yankees. It's not something I think about very often.
Red Sox, Fred Lynn. I do remember. I don't remember him, but I knew who he was. I watched a lot of Yankees classics in my time, so that's where the stuff comes in. But for catcher, I'm gonna go ahead because not totally because of his career with the Sox, but because of his career elsewhere. And I think also a lot of people in the newer generation criminally underrate this guy. I'm going to go Carlton Fisk.
Okay. I like that.
Pulling an old throwback.
I like that a lot, actually. I'm gonna put Robinson Cano. Can I put him as my second baseman? Because some reason when I was a kid, I loved playing with him in video games. He was one of my favorite players. So I'm gonna go with
which video games?
The show. I grew up playing MLB The Show. Yeah, and so he was really good at a time. There was a time he was one of the best in the game.
Yeah. Because I mean, I didn't play the show till 09. Well, it wasn't 09, but I had an old PS2 in 2011, and I got to play 09. I got to play 10. I got to play 11, and obviously I have a PS4 right now, so I get to play the show. But that wasn't really too much of a childhood staple. It was more MLB 2K, which he's so hittable with, and they discontinued that game unfortunately. And then
maybe it was 2K that I was playing it back in the day. I can't even remember.
He has such a home run stance. Like, it is so easy.
Yeah.
As long as you, like, obviously it's more for the Xbox than it is DS and PlayStation 4. But as long as you have like the A button and not the joystick part, it is so hittable. Wow. So he did meet Carlton Fisk. Nice to know, Jeffrey.
Nice.
Best Yankee for me was Thurman Munson. Yes, the original captain, or one of the original captains, of course. Carlton Fisk was great. Yep, one of the more forgotten players. Alex, would you have the Yankees sign Trevor Bauer and make a trade for starting pitcher? Because I feel like Montas is out all of 2023. I'm not gonna I know obviously there's a whole Trevor Bauer thing, sexual assault. Like, that's not even my concern. In a way, he hasn't pitched in and I know he's done some training, but he hasn't pitched in 2 years. And I don't think they need to attack left field, but I don't think they will, unfortunately. J.D. Drew was a Red Sox. He was also a Dodger at the end of his career.
Okay.
I feel like he played with another team, but I could be wrong. So, Sox. Oh, wait, you picked Robinson Cano. All right. Yeah. So now it's my time.
Shout out to the 18 in the chat, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to both channels.
Subscribe, do all the good stuff. All right. Let's see. All right. Red Sox. Favorite Red Sox. I'm not gonna cheat. I could cheat because this guy played. Because actually no, it technically wouldn't be cheating. No. I'm not talking looking up. I'm just this guy played for both the Yankees and the Sox.
Oh no, that's what I'm talking about too.
Oh, okay, all right.
I'm okay with that. You can cheat.
See, I don't want to go this player. I don't want to go to this player. I really don't.
I hope we're not thinking about the same.
See, I have. All right, I'm gonna confess. I have two in mind right now. A is Johnny Damon. B is Kurt Schilling. Okay. But to be completely transparent, as we'd like to say on here, I honestly remember him more as a part of that Diamondbacks 01 team.
Yeah, true.
So would I pick him for being a Diamondback, even though he was a Sox? We got Mendoza. Sox got Ellsbury better. Yeah. Favorite Red Sox is Kurt Schilling for me. Yeah, it sucks that he's not in the Hall of Fame. I think the Red Sox should take Aaron Hicks' contract because they give us over Jacoby Ellsbury. I think it's fair. They probably won't see it that way. Plus, they just signed Adam Duvall. I would love
Right.
to dump my trash on the Red Sox. But doesn't mean we can. Doesn't mean we will.
Yeah, only we do that to you.
Yes, unfortunately. I'm gonna stop this dryer real quick, and I'm gonna have a fucking answer.
Yeah, I think. Only we get to do that. I think the Ellsbury, the way he dropped off was just hilarious to me. It really
It was so fucking bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh, it was so fucking bad. Empty water bottle. Another empty water bottle. All right. I'm gonna bite the bullet. You know what? Roger he did. What didn't Clemens start with the Sox too? I'm not gonna pick him because that was like the 80s. Like he was, he's kind of a fossil. I mean, he should be in the Hall of Fame as well. But I'm gonna go Kurt Schilling. I'm gonna go Kurt Schilling.
Okay. I think it's interesting that there's quite a few players that have played for both teams. Wade Boggs played his best years in Boston.
Boggs, yep, that's.
But he did hit 300 for I think 5 seasons for the Yankees. So he was good for both teams, and I think I'm gonna take Wade Boggs for him at third baseman.
All right. The thing with Wade Boggs for me is I think he played for the Yankees up until like 97. I only won maybe 1 or 2 World Series with the Yankees. So, and obviously I'm just relying off my research in Yankees classics. It's just he doesn't resonate with me.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm not going to pick him. How many players have both played for both the Yankees and Sox is trivia for you. I'm going to go. That's a lot. That's
probably
list.
A lot. Like over 100.
I wouldn't go that far. I'm going to say 37. I'm going to throw out a fucking random number.
In all history, I'm going to go like 70.
70. All right. I'm up on the draft board here. You got 4. I got 3. Shit. Hold on. Let me just, because I fuck something up real quick. All right. So you got Wade Boggs. Omar really didn't, resonate with me as a guy. Doug Mankiewicz played for both teams, but never really resonated with me either. JD Drew, no, we got his shitty ass fucking brother from y'all, Steven Drew.
Yeah, Steven Drew is also a D-back, I believe.
He was also a D-back. He was also a national. He had like some very good numbers after he left the Yankees, which is fucking,
hilarious.
Typical.
Typically hilarious.
Typically hilarious. That's actually a good one. I'm trying to think of I feel like, you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Alex Verdugo.
I like that a lot. I like Verdugo.
Not because he shares my name, but I think he's just generally a chill guy.
He is.
I think he's a chill guy.
He'll talk to Yankees fans.
It's like Joe and Dom DiMaggio, I think, actually played with the Sox, too. I remember I read a book on DiMaggio's. I think it was either Dom or the other brother played with the – you guys – yeah, throw us the answer, Tony.
Tony, I feel like you're right. I feel like you're going to be closer to your number.
We'll see. I've been to the old DC Stadium seeing the Red Sox and the Yankees when Rick Cerrone and Roger Clemens was playing against the Yankees. All right, wow. So it's definitely good memories for Jeffrey there. But okay, so
I'm on the board.
You're on the board, Sox.
We are looking at, let's see, I've gone down the list to shortstop, and I know. I got to take the captain because that's actually, him and Mariano are 2 of the Yankees that I actually enjoyed watching playing, and I really, really do respect their game. And Jeter had.
You don't think Jeter's overrated?
I think he is a little overrated. I'll say that, but he's still one of my favorite players.
We're not even close, Sox.
I mean, that's what I was going towards, and then you talked me off the ledge.
Well, you know what?
Big Blue talked me off the ledge.
Yeah, but I could literally flip it, and that's a good. I like that one, Jets mess. But I could literally flip it for you. If I told you to jump off a bridge, that's saying you would do it.
Yeah,
so
no, you're right. You're right.
Don't completely blame me, but yes, you were going towards the 100 number.
I was heavily influenced though.
This is a Yankee fan saying that. No, I don't think Jeter was overrated.
He was a little bit overrated, I think, but the moxie, the presence that you bring, it's not all about your performance on the field.
No, I
it's
agree.
It's the guy that you are, man. And
that's why a lot of people remember like Jeter better than A-Rod. And A-Rod, like a lot of people forget, statistically and generationally, he was one of the best shortstops in baseball before they moved him over to third.
Yep, exactly.
With Seattle, he was very good.
Yeah.
It's 236, but definitely closer than me and Sox.
I guess I won Price is Right.
Bucky, I remember watching like some Yankees classics with Bucky Dent. You know, he was a good shortstop for the Yankees this time. Not a world beater, but he was a good shortstop. There were always 5 better. List some of those shortstops. I do want to hear your thoughts on that, Jets Mess.
That's interesting.
He's also a guy that believes Posada's overrated, or at least he wasn't a good defensive catcher.
Okay.
Which
I mean, wasn't he? Isn't he known for his defense?
A lot of people know him for his defense. A lot of people know him for his hitting. A lot of people know him for the fact that he didn't use batting gloves. So there's a lot of different things. But me and Jets Smith disagree with.
Jeter's my pick. I'm gonna grab some water while you think of yours.
All right. You don't like Posada? You thought he was a bum? Wow, man. We must have been watching 2 different Yankee teams, Jets Mess. Like, I'm gonna be completely honest, completely transparent, as we love to say. But like I didn't watch obviously the early 2000s Yankees teams, but like later on, I know Posada was out of his prime and he was mostly a DH with Russell Martin and all these different guys. Had a chicken arm. I've never seen a Yankee fan like you totally just like dislike Jorge Posada. Posada is one of my favorite Yankees of all time. And also one of my favorites because he doesn't like Brian Cashman. When I see Colton face, I seen players from 1975 team. It was Providence, Rhode Island. I respect Jeter a bit, but I also think he was overrated. So I'm the only one who thinks that Jeter is not overrated here. Posada was a bum. Yeah, I want to hear those shortstops, Jets Mess. Respectfully, I want to hear those shortstops. So now I have to pick the next Yankee.
I don't know about 5 at any time. That's kind of
yeah. He thinks Posada's a bum, which he's one of my least favorite Yanks. It's like he's not Aaron. Like I know you love Aaron Hicks. Obviously, that's sarcasm, but he's not Aaron Hicks. I mean, but
yeah.
I gotta pick my favorite Red Sox here. Gotta pick my favorite Sox. What are we gonna do here? I'm not gonna have Sox throw me names because I feel like that would. Because I'm gonna look up just a few names just to Jacoby Ellsbury. Like I would pick him if he didn't fuck the Yankees.
Yeah.
If he didn't fuck the Yankees, I would pick him. Youkilis was never one of my favorites.
Also, I still back my Ellsbury Hall of Fame boat. I'm just saying.
Sox, come on.
I'm just saying.
That's the ledge I got to talk you off.
If the drop-off wasn't so severe, I mean, I understand what you're saying because the drop-off was so severe, but the dude was stealing bases. He was hitting at least over 280. I mean, he's got to be at least a 280 career hitter.
Well, he's 284.
Hey.
I know. Scott Brosius doesn't get enough love. I don't know how to spell his last name. Just replace the so it's Brosius. Scott Brosius. Like that's the Yankees classics and the Yankee history that I remember a little bit. Not remember, but when I say remember, just like research and all that. Just keep that in mind because I'm a 2003 guy.
Right.
So there's that. But yeah, Scott Brosius, I just like a little bit more than Wade Boggs. Yuki was always on base, so hard to get out. I'm not a fan of his. As I said, when he came to the Yankees, that's also bad taste in my mouth because of the Sox. He came from the White Sox, actually, because he was with them. And then he went to the Sox for 1 year. And then he played with us. Then he went to Japan, and then he retired. So, weird timeline.
Yeah.
Stop smoking crack, Sox. No,
I'm not that bad. That's not crack. That's just weed.
Okay. Maybe we could meet in the middle on that
We
one.
can meet there.
So I have cheated kind of, but this guy I'm going to throw on my list because even though I didn't watch him too much in his prime, he is probably one of the more, I'm going to say it, underrated pitchers, but he helped create something that not as many pitchers use anymore, but it's a pitch. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Tim Wakefield.
Tim Wakefield. Yeah, he was done when he got to the Yankees.
I mean, yeah, that's throwing that pitch will do it to you. I think those careers. I don't know what it is.
Now I'm kind of regretting it because he gave Aaron Boone the Yankees managerial job.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, but I mean, basically, Sox, because he was the one who fed him the home run in game 6.
Okay, I see. I
game
see what
7
you're
of the ALCS in 2003. So
that's so funny, man.
Draft bust. Fire me as the GM. John Lester was. I also respected John Lester. I'm pretty sure he was the starting. Was he the starting pitcher in that 9-0 comeback the Yankees had? I believe he was.
Lester, yeah.
I remember that. I remember watching that.
Yeah, that was tough.
Now, I will say this right now. 2 least favorite Red Sox. I'm not putting on my list.
No way.
I'm not putting on my favorites list. David Ortiz.
No.
Even one more, right? I hate this guy currently more than I hate David Ortiz. Pedro Martinez can go fuck himself.
Why, Big Blue?
What do you mean why? He constantly on MLB Network fucking hates on the Yankees. He pushed an old man to the ground in 2003. He's just such a dickhead.
He said the Yankees are his daddy, though.
I don't care. He's a disrespectful piece of shit.
That man is the GOAT. He will strike anybody out at any time. He could probably still do it to this day.
I'm not saying he wasn't good. He's just a piece of shit. I'm not putting on my list.
Okay, that's fine.
Sox is gonna avenge Pedro later on and do something. I don't know what it's gonna be. My personal favorite Yankees lineup: 04 to 22, Posada, Tex, Cano, Jeter, A-Rod, Gardner, Judge, Swisher, Matsui. Swisher was one of my favorites. Teixeira is my all-time favorite player. Like, he was like the first athlete I just looked up to.
Wow.
When I went to see Carlton Fisk, it was a roast. It was for a roast 1975 Boston team, and I believe Louis Tiant was there. Interesting. Thank you. I thought it was Pedro that led up that 9-run lead. No, this was 2012. You're probably thinking of 2003 ALCS Game 7.
Yes.
He gave up that lead. Not in 2012. He wasn't pitching them. I was trying not to go full 2009, but I couldn't. This team, especially me. I mean, to be completely honest, I mean, that was like, for most people of my age, and I'm going to guess, Li, you're around my age. To be fair, that's like the team that everybody, because we haven't had a championship team.
Yeah, it's like the meme.
I don't care if Pedro would kick my ass.
To this day, he would.
Piece of shit.
To this day,
piece
he
of
would.
Shit. Fucking Yankee hating monger piece of shit.
Also,
I hate him.
I saw a meme that said it's crazy how I'm sure you've seen it. It's crazy how time zones work when the New Year's came.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yankees in 2009. Yes.
Yes, man. It's like Dallas fans in '95. You know.
But before we move on to our other picks, fuck Pedro Martinez.
Okay, we get it.
Yes. I think you're on the board.
All right. I after thinking about it, I'm obviously probably gonna take the Babe. I'll just take him now, since he's the GOAT. So we'll put him out there. I don't know if we want to count that as a pick, but he really is. He's obviously the most influential baseball player ever, unless you want to put Shohei up there. I know Big Blue hates Shohei Ohtani.
I don't hate him. I think he's overrated.
Okay, that's fair.
Well, I mean, yeah, influential, him, Judge, Jackie Robinson. You know, there's a couple of different guys. So
I'm not putting Alex Rodriguez on my list. I'll tell you that right now.
Do you hate Alex Rodriguez like I hate Pedro?
If not more. I'm telling you, that guy is such a scumbag.
Why do you hate Alex Rodriguez?
That guy is such a scumbag. He thinks that just because he can date an attractive female. And also, he got suspended a whole season by the MLB, and you want to make him the face of
Oh,
the
you know what?
MLB
You know what?
playoff
You know what? Here's what I'm gonna say, Sox.
and put him on TV in front of millions to watch, and
Oh,
he got
you
suspended
never
a whole
you never
season.
heard
What a
the you
role
never heard the
model that
David
is.
Ortiz you never heard the David Ortiz PED thing?
Absolutely not. He never got caught doing it.
He never got caught.
He never
He
got
would.
caught
He
doing it.
fucking word sucks. But no. I mean, like, I could see where people hate A-Rod.
He's a scumbag.
I don't think he's intelligent. You cannot
That's
take
fair.
away his intelligence.
Yeah. A lot of scumbags are intelligent.
Okay, yeah. If you want to put, if we're gonna agree on a peace treaty on
Pedro versus A-Rod, I'll accept.
yeah, you know what? We have to make some bet where I have to get a Pedro jersey and you have to get an A-Rod jersey.
We have something like what did we? I was just thinking about this yesterday. We talked about it in the last episode that it's the season series. Whoever wins the season series.
Yes, but what was the prize for that?
One of us has to buy. I'm gonna buy a Yankee jersey, wear it on stream, and then send it to you as a gift, and you vice versa.
Now we know which jerseys we're getting.
Okay.
So
because I don't have Pedro, and do you have an A-Rod jersey?
I do not.
There we go.
Works for both of us. So if the
Red
Red
Sox
Sox
is getting a jersey,
yes, one of us is getting a jersey. Imagine it's tied though.
We'll see how many games they play against each other. I don't know. Do you know how many division games that each team has?
That's a good point.
With the new schedule.
Yeah, the new schedule is going to be something. Not an A-Rod fan, but that man could play some defense and shortstop and third. Yeah, it's one of the best things about him. He was a damn good ball player before steroids.
One of the good things about him.
What?
No, nothing. I agree.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. So the Yankees play the Sox. Let's count this how many times. Of course, not spring training. So they don't play them until June. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Is that when we're supposed to go? Their first series?
7, 8, 9. 1 second. 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 times. So there's not going to be an even unless baseball invents ties. But no, they have a series at Yankee Stadium. I want to say a few days before Boston, they play the Mets for the Subway Series, and then they go to Boston.
Okay.
So, 13 games. Thank you, Tony. Alex,
you, Tony.
Yeah, there's apparently rumors that they're cheating on extra points, the Eagles.
Oh, well, how would they do that?
There's some with a white, I can't say device, but they're used. I don't know. There are some accusations though they are cheating, full of hot air. Aeroid sucks. Brad, see, I don't. I mean, yeah, we gotta stop hating on our own players in here, okay? We gotta stop hating. Like, no, but you're a Red Sox fan. Like, we got Jetsus Mess. He thinks Posada's a bum. You hate A-Rod.
I mean, it might be time to face the facts, Big Blue. I mean, it might be time.
Like, what's the next player we're gonna hate? Fucking
Gary Sanchez.
Gary Sanchez go fuck himself. I don't care.
Hey, that's what I like to hear.
Pedro's. You know what? Pedro might be classified as that.
That is wow.
That's a Donald word, and that's a bingo word. That's probably why he wants to pry it. Yankees, I hated Brian Cashman. Chase Headley was such a fuckhead. You know who was a bigger fuckhead though? Tyler Clippard. I hated him. I fucking hate when he would blow every single game in 2017.
Right.
This motherfucker right now. Right. And then we got David Robertson, Todd Frazier, and Tommy Kahnle in return. But I'm on the board, so I can't pick Lester because I already picked Kurt Schilling. Because obviously that falls in the starter role. So now I have to think about my options. I don't think I'm going to – I obviously said I wasn't picking Jason Varitek because I picked Carlton Fisk. I can't say Carl Yastrzemski because I don't know too much about him, even though he played in the 70s. I think I personally like his grandson as a baseball player. Coco Crisp, I only remember him more with the
Oakland,
yeah. And then whatever teams he played after that. Crap. Now I gotta dig into my brain for these Red Sox. Okay. Let's see. No, 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 no. Trot Nixon was okay. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't resonate with me. Doesn't
Yeah.
resonate too much with me. I would say maybe David Wells. Alex and thinking don't go in the same sentence. Interesting. Interesting to say the least. Do you know there's a store in Cooperstown, New York, named after the Red Sox player? I didn't know that. I've been to Cooperstown though. Definitely recommend
Okay.
it. Definitely recommend it. Damn, I gotta go back in my fucking head of all these. You know what? I know. Fucking shit, man. He's a starter too. Damn it, man. Josh Beckett.
Okay.
Josh Beckett.
We're talking
I'm gonna.
about
I'm gonna.
that's that's
I might cheat and actually put him as a reliever
okay.
because like has a small extra brain. Ellis Burks. I don't know who that is, so I'm not gonna put him on my list. Fuck, man. But Josh Beckett. If I'm not if I can't think of a better, or I would say more favored reliever in my opinion, I'm gonna put Josh Beckett because I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck it.
I like the necklace he used to wear. Ellis Burks goes way back, by the way. I think he goes way back.
Yeah, so hence why I probably don't remember. Keith Folk, I mean, he kind of resonated with me in a way. Let's see. I'm looking at different rosters. I also don't have to select a relief pitcher, but I'm just going through the motions here. Fucking shit. No, Bronson Arroyo can also go fuck himself. I don't hate him as much as Pedro. Yeah, Carl Yastrzemski before. I don't know too much on him. As I said, I like his grandson a little bit more as a ball player.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Roberts, I'm gonna cheat and I'm gonna take Josh Beckett.
Now,
I
you
think
guys in
he's
the chat, feel
also
free to drop your favorite Yankees and Red
yes.
Sox players.
Yankees, Red Sox, drop him in
Anybody.
Yeah, right. Back to Z99. Oh, what's Z99? Is that like 175,000 years in the future?
That's funny.
Is that like when they stop running out of numbers? But yeah, I know he probably goes way back. Sox, you're on the board.
Okay, I'm left with a few outfield positions here, and Brett Gardner resonates with me a lot because it just felt like he's just felt like such the Yankee kind of guy when I was watching him as a kid growing up, and it was always tough to face him. A small guy pulling the ball, fiery. I always thought that I would want him on my team, and I think he resonates with me the most. I'm going to put him on my list, but also Curtis Granderson. I like the time that he was in New York. Jacoby Ellsbury obviously fell off. I do remember him making some good plays for the Yankees in center field. You got Damon, you got Matsui, Melky Cabrera, Carlos Beltran, Andrew Jones. I like Andrew Jones a lot. I know
Andrew
him more
Jones.
as a
like
Brave,
Andrew
though.
Jones as a Yankee.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, he was. Remember, he was. I think he could be on the brink of a Hall of Famer. You look at his first few years. He was like almost MVP level. People don't know that about him.
No, that dude was really good. And now his son, I forgot where his son went. Diamondbacks. I believe the D-backs drafted his son.
Yeah, Drew Jones.
Yes.
Drew Jones. I remember. Yeah. Grandy shined in New York. That he did. I did like Curtis Granderson in New York. Alex doesn't think. Period. Well, sometimes I don't.
Hey.
Ted. Yeah, I'm not gonna pick like Ted Williams is like the most given obvious one though.
I mean, I took Babe though.
Yeah,
Babe.
I know, but it's just I would like to go with people that resonate with me more. Shouts to Grega in the chat. All right, so I am up, and who am I going to take? I'm picking Ellsbury.
Alex loves Ellsbury. Don't let him lie to you.
No, he can fuck off. Damn it. I had one in the back of my head. So I need, in terms of position players and everything else, I need a first baseman, second baseman, third baseman, shortstop, and a center fielder. And I'm trying to remember all these different Sox I played. It's very, as we can imagine, it's very fucking hard to pick something, your favorite, your other, your rival. as we can all imagine. So, damn it, man. When we were having the A-Rod before, fuck Ryan Dempster. He can go fuck himself too.
Yeah.
I
could see that. I could see why you don't like Ryan Dempster.
You know what? I had this one in my mind. So can I replace somebody here? Can I replace somebody?
Yeah.
Because I technically cheated. I kind of cheated with something? Joe Kelly.
Okay. Nice.
I'm a Joe Kelly guy. I'm a fan.
I love Joe Kelly, man.
And I'm still up, obviously, but I'm a Joe Kelly guy. I don't like what he did, but he's got balls. He's got balls on him.
Yeah, he does.
So I still have to throw some names if you want to help out in the chat. So I need pretty much all position players, and I'm like trying to think of guys that resonate with me. But I think I'm gonna bite the bullet here and go Dustin Pedroia at second base.
Yeah, makes sense. That guy is just what you want in a second baseman right there, with that, minus the knee injury.
Of course.
Thanks, Manny Machado.
I know who I'm going to take with one of my other picks, but I'm going to shut my mouth on that one.
Okay.
Sox, you are up.
Well, this is tough now. Because I'm down to, I just need a right fielder.
Right fielder and a starting pitcher, relief pitcher, and a closer. Well, you could probably count a second relief pitcher. Well, you did say Mo, so it should actually be pretty easy for you.
Oh, I love Mo. I'll take Mo right now. I'll put him on my list, and the reason he resonates with me is because of Metallica. What a badass! Like when he left New York.
Song, yes.
Oh my god! And Metallica.
That shit don't compare to the Edwin Diaz one. I will say that. Nothing like not that I'm not trying to say that, but what I meant to say was Enter Sandman. Nobody competes that level.
No, I mean, I like the Edwin Diaz thing. The trumpets are cool and all, but you got the real Metallica showing up at his last game to actually play Enter Sandman. I mean, that is just so cool. I like him a lot. And the fact that hitters would say that he would know a cutter's coming and he still can't hit his cutter. How good is that? I mean, come on.
He's just a genuine guy, too.
He is.
He's so likable.
Yeah, he is.
Pedroia was a winner. Ellis Burks played with the Sox 1987, 2002, Red Sox 2004. Right now, he works for NESN. All right. Thank you for the information, Jeffrey.
NESN is Boston's TV, whatever. It's like Yes Network.
Yeah, of course. I'm going to take Mookie Betts.
I was wondering if you were going to put him on your list.
I don't hate him.
He slowly turned into one of my, literally almost my favorite baseball player of all time.
Well, you must have been heartbroken when he was traded.
I really was, but I understood the whole contract thing. When you're young, you don't really understand that sides of things. But the dude is literally so good. It's just ridiculous what he did in Boston, man.
You talking about the closer from the Marlins, Tony? Because I remember I don't know if you're spelling it right, but you're Bina.
Oh yeah,
you're being I remember he was like one of the relief pitchers on the Marlins. If that's who you're referencing, if not, then I have no fucking clue what you're talking about. So I picked Betts. Now you're on the clock.
Yeah.
So you need right field, starting pitcher, and relief pitcher.
Let's see. There's a lot of Yankees pitchers that resonate with me, like going back in the years, and it felt like the Yankees bullpen was kind of dominant through a little bit of my childhood, which has kind of scarred me a little bit.
John Smoltz also, it's a good point. I mean, I didn't put him down. Like my most memories of him with the Braves, Red Sox too.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go back to the show here, and I grew up using this card. It's a throwback card, and I would get this in every game, every single year that we would play. And it's Goose Gossage, man. You throw 101 down. Can you still got me in your audio?
Yeah.
Okay. You throw 101 down the pipe or even up and in, under a guy's chin, it's over. Goose Gossage is closing the game out.
He is one of the more hated pariahs now because he's
Right.
outspoken against the organization, all these other different things. So I need, what do I need? Third base, shortstop, and first base. This guy was more known for other parts, but again, I don't hate him, and I thought he would have been decent on the Yankees. More forgotten, his name is Hanley Ramirez.
Yes. I liked Hanley. I liked his time in Boston, though.
Take him at third base.
Although I think he was there in that time, which I told you about, I think a couple episodes ago, where the Yankee or the Sox were lost in the dugout with Valentine as their manager, and they were eating chicken and drinking beer in the dugout. Pablo Sandoval was going in the dugout or in the hallway during half innings and liking pictures on Instagram. It was a mess. But Hanley was.
To be complete, I think you've told me that before. To be fair, though, like actually no. To be really honest, I'm surprised that shit because Valentine seems like a hard.
He
manager.
was.
How does that shit happen though?
The team took it over, man. It was like because you bring in the big name with Pablo Sandoval. You got they just overtook it. It was like Pablo Sandoval stole the show. He wasn't what we wanted him to be, and the Red Sox were in last place at that time. And they literally had fried chicken in the dugout.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Girardi would have slapped everybody there.
Seriously.
Josh Beckett, John Smoltz, Alex Verdugo have the same birthday, May 15th. Oh, I did not know that. Thank you once again, Jeffrey. All right, so right field and starting pitcher, Sox.
Oh, boy. Right fielder. This is tough. I want to put Judge on there, but I don't know how I feel about Judge.
Like the obvious one, but as I said, if that's your option.
It's just like, he's like the new era of oh my God, we got to face this guy for this many years. He's the cornerstone right fielder. I'll put him on the list. Honestly, Stanton resonates with me too. I'll just tell you right now, growing up watching him in Miami, when he was hitting those long home runs, I like Stanton, but he isn't. I don't know how Yankees fans truly feel about him, but I'm not
mixed with him.
He's a mixed feelings kind of guy. So I'll take Judge in right field.
Brad says the Warrior, also known as Paul O'Neill. What outfielder? What about the outfielder that has Sox had a hard on for last? Jackie Bradley Jr.
Yeah. Hey.
I'm not. Jackie Bradley Jr. does not resonate with me, so there's no reason, in my opinion, that I will pick him.
The only reason I had a hard on for him was because he was there during the 2018 World Series and part of the Killer Bees outfield that brought a championship to Boston, and he was making highlight reel plays. How can I not love him?
So apparently, as I look for my next favorite Red Sox, apparently our guy Tony in the chat played MLB The Show with our drafted remaining free agent teams, and yours was better because of the pitching.
Really?
And I'm like, how the fuck is that possible?
I'm telling you, because Goose Gossage, that's why. You get a lead and it's over. You throw that guy.
No. I'm talking about remember last episode we did
okay. I see.
Oh yeah. 8 was joking. Okay.
But didn't you start going at pitchers first?
I have the notes section. Let's see. Notes.
I thought you were going at pitchers first and I was going at offense.
So I have the drafts right here. I went a little bit at pitchers first. Yeah. And you went pitchers more towards the end.
Okay, I remember that.
Like in the middle kind of thing. So there's that. But damn, I got to look for my next favorite Boston Red Sox. First base and shortstop. Adrian Gonzalez was okay. I just don't know, like, if he resonates with me. Napoli was okay. I mean, obviously, he was a part of that bearded era.
Yes.
With the Sox. I'm just trying to think of Sox first baseman.
Have I asked you about what your thoughts on are the Yankees making their clean shaven?
I don't think it's that big of a deal as people make it out to be.
Okay.
Like, I mean, listen, obviously, some people will have their opinions, but people act like it's the number one priority every offseason to change that rule. I'm like, we have so many other fucking issues.
It would be easy to change the rule, though. You just got to
it would be, but I think Hal's respecting his father. which
That's
I,
fair.
I respect to a certain point. Shit. So I think I'm gonna go ahead because the Red Sox have had some different first basemen.
Yeah, they have. You tell me about it.
I'm actually gonna go shortstop here. He's played with a number of teams. I'm gonna pick someone out of the blue. I'm gonna go Edgar Renteria.
I like that pick a lot.
Why? It seems like there's something there.
Yeah, I mean, I like that guy resonates with you out of all the Red Sox first basemen. That's just interesting to me.
Let's see. Shout outs to Basic Entertainment. Not to sidetrack, but Big Blue sounds like Max Kellerman. Well,
He kind of does, though.
I appreciate that I sound like someone on TV. Like I've gotten that radio compliment multiple times. But Max Kellerman, that's a new one.
You kind of do sound like him.
And then, I respect Basic Entertainment's comment because obviously it's great.
Shout out Basic Entertainment.
Shout out to Basic Entertainment. Shout out to Kyle as well in the chat. I'll get to the comments in a second, but I fucking hate Max Kellerman. He is such a flip-flopper.
I like him because he's a Giants fan, but yeah, I mean, but you also got to think that he's probably a down-to-earth guy. His job is to be a flip-flopper and just stir the pot on TV. That's all he is.
Mo Vaughn, that's another one. No more Garcia Parra. As I said, doesn't really resonate with me. I did not know Cody Clemens was born on May 15th. That's his son. That's Roger Clemens' son. One of his sons actually used to play for the baseball team that was over here for a little bit. Kyle says 4 games away from the World Series. Will he fine? You mean the Yankees this year, or you're talking about Girardi? Let us know what you're talking about. All right. So I picked Edgar Renteria. We have 1 pick left each. You got a starting pitcher to pick. I got a first baseman to pick.
All right. CC Sabathia resonates with me the most, and it's partially because of the show, but it's also because when he was really good, I loved that baseball players and pitchers can come in any size, and CC wasn't afraid to stumble his way out there and dominate you on the hill, and that's what I loved about him.
So you will take CC Sabathia.
What are Yankees fans' thoughts on him? Because I know he was there a long time and he struggled. He has ups and downs.
So finally, Alex loses the monotone. Well, I mean, I usually talk like this, Brad. Obviously,
it's not monotone; it's just deep.
Yeah, it's kind of a different story. He's with the Royals now, Jets, which it's funny because I remember this, and maybe not a lot of people don't. His first game with the Yankees was actually against the Royals. And he wasn't in a save situation. I think the final score was like 7-2. But, he goes to the Royals like 3.7 mil. I'm going to end the draft. I think I'm going to end it between 2 guys. Now, one guy resonates with me a little bit more than the other, maybe not. I'm picking between 2 men, Adrian Gonzalez and Kevin Millar.
Nice.
I think I'm going to lean Kevin Millar.
I'm just going to throw this out there. I haven't put it out there as a Sox fan, on my channel or anything, but I'm not a big Kevin Millar fan. I don't know what it is. I don't like him at all.
Like him at all. See, like when he was on, like I remember the days of MLB Network and Intentional Talk with him and Chris Rose. I didn't like. I got annoyed by them at first when I saw the commercials, but I'm like, you know what? This is kind of a half decent. Like at least he has a personality. I don't know if he's on MLB Network anymore, but he's got a personality.
I think the personality is probably a little bit. It's cooked up in the room before. Yeah. It's not real. It's not. Kevin Millar is not. It's not. He's not showing us his true self.
So you think he's fake on TV?
I think he's fake. I think he's a fraud. I think he's fugazi. I think he should get off TV.
Okay. All right. So after about an hour and 19 minutes of people in the chat hating on Posada and A-Rod, we finally get who you hate the most on your team.
Yeah, I think it's Kevin Millar, honestly.
Okay. Kevin Millar was an Oriole, my favorite Yankee pitcher. Tony, does this have anything to do with the fact that he started out as an Oriole? I'm just gonna throw it out there. And also, they really didn't mean any. They didn't not mean. The Yankees did not win anything with Mussina. Like, I think he was acquired in like 2000, 2001. I think 2001, I think it was. And then he pitched to like 2006, 2007, maybe. I'm stretching it. But no, they didn't win anything with him. So that's like, he's a good pitcher. I don't think he deserved Hall of Fame that early. But hey, listen, what do I know? Sox, just to let you know, he will be calling the Red Sox games on Northeastern. I forget what the hell it is, but NESN.
Sports Network. Yeah.
New England Sports Network. There we go. I got it.
I mean,
I know Millar's got a job on there, I think.
They got Euclid too. I think that's a good mix, I guess, with those two personalities, former ball players. Sox fans like Kevin Millar, and that's okay, but I don't.
Yeah. But just a reminder before we move forward a little bit, like, comment, subscribe to all the good stuff. Subscribe to Sox. Subscribe to Big Beat Reactions. Of course, he's a few subscribers away from the 1,000 mark. Would love for him to get there by the end of the night. But just to recap what we've been doing, favorite Red Sox, favorite Yankees. I'll go over Sox first. Jorge Posada, Anthony Rizzo, Robinson Cano, Wade Boggs, Derek Jeter, Babe Ruth, Brett Gardner, Aaron Judge, CC Sabathia, Goose Gossage, and Mariano Rivera. Mine, Carlton Fisk, Kevin Millar, Dustin Pedroia, Hanley Ramirez, Edgar Renteria, Manny Ramirez, Mookie Betts, Alex Verdugo, Kurt Schilling, Joe Kelly, and finally, Tim Wakefield. So Moose retired 2008 after a 20-win season. Well, that's I guess that's ending the career on a high note. I mean, I can't totally fault him there. I hope the Orioles shut you Yankee content creators up this season. Why would they shut Tony? Listen,
probably not going to happen. Until you're
listen, Tony. Okay, we gotta have a talk here. We gotta have a talk.
Listen, Tony.
Listen, just listen. All right, listen. You could talk that way to Sox and hit about his team. You can't talk. This is the Yankees, all right? I talk down on my own team. I will, and I do, because it's the truth. People out here don't want to give the truth. Let me say this. We are superior in our own division. Our division sucks. And the Yankees take advantage of that. That's why they will be first place this year. And I'm not saying as a brag, but it's just going to be true. So until your Orioles actually get a superstar or some type of offense and remove that stupid extension of a wall they have in left field, I don't know how you're going to shut us up. Like,
look, this is my take on this. The Yankees fans are very similar to Cowboys fans. Every year is their year, and I'm not going to include Big Blue in this because Big Blue is a knowledgeable, realistic fan. You guys know this. Every year is their year. You're not going to shut them up no matter what. Even if they're in last place, they think they're better than you. It's a battle that you're not going to win. Now, listen, all you can do is go out there and win games like they did last year. And I think you're right. I think they might give everybody a little run for their money, Tony. But listen, he's right. The Yankees fans won't listen to you.
Orioles will be irrelevant for another 2 years. I told Tony early when it was like October, November, December-ish. I said, it's great. You guys are like decent with pitching. Where's your offense? You're just relying on the young cats, Adley Rutschman. Listen, those are some notable names, but at the end of the day, I mean, it doesn't really do anything. To change subject, what do you think about Dennis Eckersley's daughter? I don't know if you know, but she had a baby, and she did not tell the police where the baby was. At least she had it in the woods. What the hell?
I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. That's pretty crazy, though.
Let me see if I can at least catch a headline.
Give me a headline.
Daughter. Oh
no!
He left a newborn baby freezing in the fucking woods.
Oh,
I think I heard this one because I'm looking at the face. I'm like, I don't think so. I think it's fine. I'm not going to speculate, but Jesus, that's all I'm going to say.
Wow. That's not cool.
No, not at all. But I guess for a 20-second break, we could go into our NFL picks. I'm going to update my playoff predictor. So Sox, which teams did you pick last week? Because you might have a similar record to me. I think you picked the Chargers, didn't you?
I did pick the Chargers. I picked the Buccaneers, I think. I picked the Giants.
Chargers, Bucks, Giants.
I can't remember who else I picked in the Cincinnati game.
You may have picked the Bengals.
For the record, I can't really. I don't want to lie to you here.
Well, of course.
Let's see who we got.
Let's see.
I did not save.
Tinking. Let's see. What the hell is going on with this one? Yeah.
I think I picked Cincinnati.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that sounds about right. Because I think you're at 4-2.
Okay.
You're at 4-2. Because I'm trying to redo this playoff predictor crap because it says Miami went in the playoff. Well, actually, no. Yeah, they did go in the playoffs. But why does it say Buffalo's not here? Which means it's Kansas City. But anyway, I'm just gonna skip right to it. All right. Let's see.
Shout out to the 19 in the chat, man. Put your predictions in with us as well.
Yeah. Follow along with us. Questions, comments, all that's welcome. The Giants are not getting beat by that score, Tony.
We're not putting up
only
19 points.
Yeah. But we're also not letting them put up fucking 37.
No way.
I would be completely embarrassed.
Maybe 30.
Let's start with the Saturday matinee games. The Jaguars at the Chiefs. The Chiefs are 8.5-point favorites. Sox, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking Jaguars cover. Now, I really want to pick them to win, but it just doesn't seem realistic. I'm going to take the Chiefs for the record, but man, will I be rooting for all the underdogs this weekend just because you know why.
Well, of course. But we don't want to make it too underdog-ish to where, like, underdogs win, like, too much, and then that freezes our Giants out.
True.
Because I don't want that to happen. But
you don't want to run into a saw blade when you're in the playoffs, though, like Buffalo.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the Kansas City Chiefs. So everybody's going Jags 33, KC 20. And you know what's funny, Sox? Even though he's rivals with the Jacksonville Jaguars, he's rooting on the Jacksonville Jaguars for some reason.
Hey.
Not picking them, but rooting them because he says he likes Trevor Lawrence. Chiefs 27-20. I think that's actually could be pretty accurate. So me and Sox going the Chiefs. I'm going to leave the Giants best for last. Bengals, Bills. Bills 5.5-point favorites. Let's see what happens. Obviously, a close game last week with Skylar Thompson as the Dolphins quarterback, but I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills here. Bills are 5.5-point favorites. Sox, where are you going with this one?
The Bills were my original pick for the Super Bowl going into the year. It was Buffalo and Arizona, actually. And so I'm going to stick with my pick and pick Buffalo.
All right. And then for the nightcap, Cowboys and Niners.
God damn it.
4.5-point favorites the Niners are. The Niners are going to go to the NFC Championship.
Yeah, I agree. I don't want it to. I want to see Dallas just because I want to beat Philly and Dallas and go to the Super Bowl and write the storybook.
That would be pretty awesome.
Storybook, awesome. That'd be good stuff.
But at least of recent history of one game only. But we do have a decent record against the Niners. But the Niners before 2011 obviously didn't end well. 2002, I believe it was. Bengals 45, Bills 48. What do you think? It's going to be like what the Chiefs Bills game? Interesting.
It could be.
I don't think it's going to be that way. It's not going to be a shootout. Well, I mean, actually, it'll be a shootout. It's not 40 some odd fucking points.
I could see Josh Allen putting up, 30, 35 plus points on that defense.
We'll see. Bills 34-31. Chiefs, Giants, Niners, Bills. It's pretty much all my picks, if I'm not mistaken. Hint, hint. Niners 31-21. I could see that. Niners 37-23. I don't think it's going to be two scores. Well, actually, I feel like this is more of a realistic score, but hey, I've been wrong before. Let's get into that Giants game. The Giants are now 8-point underdogs going to a very hostile Philadelphia. And Philly's dangerous. People will come after you. People have gotten killed there before. Just gonna put that out there, and it's not an
Jesus
understatement.
Christ.
They've yeah, I'm dead serious when I say that.
They actually have. No, they have. You're
So
right.
yeah, someone shot the Eagles fan shot a Giants fan last year, and it wasn't even football season. It was over. It was over an argument. It was like in either February, June, or May. Someone got shot, and I would like to prove this. I'm not talking shit, but I'm just gonna say to all my friends out there that I lived with for 12 fucking years, 12 years in northeastern Pennsylvania, about an hour and a half to 2 hours from Philly. You are not going to hear the end of it if the Giants beat the Eagles. That's all I'm
No.
going to say. I'm picking my Giants to win. We'll see what happens in the NFC Championship if we get there, but I think my Giants are going to win this game. And yeah, I will. And again, I will be absolutely insufferable. No, I'm not a closet Niners fan, Brad.
Yeah, I'm picking the same. You know how it goes. It's all season long. It's been a ride, and this the Philadelphia Eagles rivalry, we saw it coming down the road weeks and weeks ago. We said, you know what, we want to see this Philly team. Once we knew they were going to win the division, I think it was kind of determined we want to see them in the playoffs. I didn't think Dallas would be here in the position that they are, but the fact that we have a chance to go through two division rivals to go to the Super Bowl, and it's right here in front of us, and it's happening in 2 days, gives me chills to think about. To all the Philadelphia fans, Alex is right. You'll not hear the end of it forever. If we win this game on Saturday, and who wants it more? I think we got the dogs ready to go. Giants win.
Giants 24-21. I'll be sure to wear my Eagles shirt for the call show. You
Get
have
the
an
fuck
Eagles
out of here, Tony.
There's no way in hell you have an Eagles shirt.
You will
Brian,
not
though,
wear
has
it.
an Eagles hat. I mean, one of our guests that we have on usually, he has an Eagles hat. But before I quickly run to the bathroom, and obviously guys keep spamming the chat with questions and comments. What was I going to say? Obviously I was my last year in Pennsylvania. It just happened to be the year they won the Super Bowl. And I was in the library. Our class was in the library because our class, our not professor, but our teacher wasn't there. So we had to go to the library, go on our laptops, do work, whatever. So my Steelers friend calls me and my friend over. And he says, listen to what she said. And my friend at the time, obviously Eagles fan, you know what she said? She said Nick Foles was the best quarterback in the NFL. And I'm like, we're done here. We're done here.
And look, they got the Super Bowl MVP to back it up. That's what they got.
That's
I guess
one.
that's all you. I
Yeah,
guess that's
and
all you need.
he completely shit-faced himself a few weeks ago, and I was there to see it. So,
Yeah.
And he did above average stats. That's all I'm going to say. But, yeah, I'll definitely look into it. Football prediction, I want to see if either you get it. Where does D-Hop play next season? Each of you pick. I'm going to think about that one. I'm going to give you an answer when I come back. Sox, obviously, we'll look at the chat.
Yeah, I mean, D-Hop is in an interesting situation over there. So is Kyler, and they mentioned that Kyler's going to have some say in who the head coaching position is. So, I didn't expect Cliff to get fired, but I knew that was right for them. Take D-Hop to the Giants. I think, hey, it's known that we need a receiver, man. And I remember y'all on Twitter that day the Giants brought Kenny Golladay in. We thought we had our guy. I was one of them. But it didn't work out, I would love D-Hop on the Giants. He doesn't drop any balls. I wonder how realistic that is. We'll have to talk to Big Blue about that. Yeah, the contract is tough. I know that. Giants 24-21, Greg and John. I like that. I think we need to put up. My prediction was we had to hold Minnesota under 24, and they scored 24. We got the W. So I think it's going to be about the same thing. Maybe 25 for the Eagles. I think a 30-25 game is realistic, 30-24. My dream is Ayuk or Higgins or Brown from Buffalo. Hey, I like Ayuk a lot. That guy's talented. It just goes back to Purdy being, set up for success over there in San Francisco. Sox, you still have time to change your mind on. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's okay, Brad. As long as I get to, come on here, make those reaction videos, hang out with you guys, I'm happy, man. I'm happy. All those guys are going to want to get paid to be a wide receiver one. They can't their teams right now. I agree, man. And D-Hop's earned the right to make his money. He really has. At least in my opinion. Hey, some people are saying D-Hop to the Giants. What are your thoughts?
No, he's not coming to the Giants. No, he's not coming to the Giants. The Giants, I don't listen. If
Need
the
a wide
Giants
receiver.
were I get that. If the Giants were trading for a wide receiver, I'd say he's their number one option, and they're going to get him. The contract is not favorable unless Arizona pays it. A, B. Let's just say the Giants. Okay, they go to the NFC Championship, they go to the Super Bowl, or they win the Super Bowl. You want to keep that process going, and just stockpiling bad contracts is not ideal for the team. The whole point of this year is to kind of like not be what the last few years have been and keep going with that process. Not necessarily, I'm not saying go out and get like mid-tier receivers. I'm not saying that, but they can't be like, they got to build through the draft. That's like the regime's
100%,
moral of this whole thing. Gabriel Davis from Buffalo is something to watch. He could be good for the Giants.
He's talented.
He's not a number one.
The guy's talented, though.
Extend within, yes. Sox, are you going to be doing some Red Sox games this year again on your channel?
I wish I lived on the East Coast. If I lived on the East Coast, man, I would be able to do every single game, but I'm at work. It starts at 4 p.m. I'm at work during that time,
Alex, I sent you an Eagles shirt pic on my Twitter. There's no way I own an Eagles shirt. Oh, God, I gotta see this. He does have an Eagles shirt.
Why, Tony?
Why is maybe because like maybe you made a bet with somebody because the Texans lost the Eagles. I don't know. Yeah, we have so many guys to extend. All those guys want to get paid as a wide receiver one, and this team can't. Sox, you still have time to change your mind on marriage. You're still young.
Yeah, no.
Brad busting balls. My dream guy is Ayuk or Higgins or Brown from Buffalo. Brown from Buffalo.
Is it Brown from Arizona now? Hollywood Brown? Is that what he means?
Because I'm trying to question this. There's Hollywood Brown. There's
AJ.
Obviously not AJ. Fuck. There's another receiver by the last name of Brown that could be a target. Shit. Not John Brown. I don't, because he was a target years ago. Obviously, he's not.
Yeah, it was like 4 years ago, wasn't it?
God damn it. I mean, John Brown
Davis.
actually is with the Buffalo Bills.
So he meant Davis from Buffalo.
Oh, he meant Davis. All right. Yeah. So I believe the New England Patriots will hire a new office coach this year. You mean GM or something? Or you mean an offensive coordinator?
Offensive coordinator.
Which was a contract, yes. So I got to make up my mind before we go with these head coaching predictions. Where do you think D-Hop's going?
It's very interesting. I haven't thought about that yet. I don't see an issue with him returning to Arizona if they can talk him into, having some say in head coach or bonding with a new head coach that might be okay with him and Kyler. I'm going to go on a branch and say Arizona.
I think he stays in Arizona. We probably definitely at the top of his list. It's possible, but once again, I just don't think the Giants see it as a fit.
I agree with you saying you don't want to stockpile bad contracts, but D-Hop's one of those anomalies, I believe, that doesn't drop any balls.
He's also going into his 30s is my issue. And
that's another issue too.
The second youngest team in the NFL.
Yeah, that's another issue too.
So I'm going to pick, Interesting thoughts. No, not that team. No. You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb. No, I'm not going to say the Packers. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the Baltimore Ravens.
Interesting.
That was actually, Tony, that was one of my thoughts. This also appeared in the back of my head, but I said Baltimore Ravens. Sox, what do you think of the Celtics so far?
They're out balling 100%. I told you I haven't watched many games this year, but I've been keeping up on the Celtics. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, um, Gallinari was a nice addition, although I'd like to see him step up a little bit. It was interesting to see, the Ime Udoka stuff. Was it going to affect us? But no, we got our guy now, and they're going to go into the playoffs. Just got to finish. That's the Celtics' biggest problem. They were getting beat in the playoffs for years now, and finally made the finals against the Red Hot Warriors that took care of business. So just got to finish, man. That's all I got. That's all I got to say.
Finish. All right. So head coach prediction time. Now we didn't
All right.
do this. We didn't do this last year for Boys in the Big Apple. At least I don't believe so. But we're gonna do it. I want to do it within the next few shows because obviously it's stockpiles between MLB and all these different things. Yes, that's my point. You could use another weapon with Duvernay and Andrews and Rashad Bateman. He's coming off of a season-ending injury. See, my thing is Giants trade for a wide receiver. It should be a number one or close to it. Terrace Marshall is he's I don't want to say he's a John Ross, but he's a very unproven dude. So there's that. But I do have some candidates listed out under our candidates section, and we have the openings. Right now, there are currently 5 openings, at least to my knowledge, for head coaches. So I'm going to list the candidates that currently have interviewed, maybe some other guys who are just in the circle. So the Houston Texans, Tony's team, is one of them. The Denver Broncos, the Arizona Cardinals, the Indianapolis Colts, and the Carolina Panthers. Those are the ones of note. Jacob says Terrace Marshall is an interesting one if he fits in the mold for us as a long-term athletic receiver. By the way, yes, I did hear that. I did hear that today that Mike Bray is retiring from Notre Dame basketball.
Okay.
Now, let me ask you a quick question before we move into our predictions. What do you do? You think that the Chargers head coach should be fired for choking that big lead and basically being not very good kind of thing, or being too aggressive?
Honestly, to be honest with you, no. And I think that's kind of a hot take, but it's something deeper than that. The Chargers have been blowing big games since God's green earth was invented. I think it's something way deeper than that. There's no excuses. I'm sure, I hope you'd be the first one to say that, but it's plain and simple. You can't blow a lead like that. But maybe your defensive coordinator. I think it's more on the defense than it is the offense. But that's another conversation. I don't think Staley should get fired.
Yeah, guys. Just as a reminder, I'll definitely give my thoughts. But guys, just definitely like, comment, subscribe to all the good stuff. Get those likes up. Also subscribe to both of us and all of the stuff in the description, including Big B reactions. Jacob says only way he could be fired is if they get Peyton. They have the best OC job in the NFL. Vacancy. Yes, they do probably have the best vacancy. And obviously those are a little harder to predict because sometimes you could just say in-house, you could say out-of-house. Jacob says maybe Roman to the Chargers or Frank Reich. I think Frank Reich is probably looking for another head coaching gig. So there's that. And but otherwise, I think he coached with the Chargers before, and I don't know that he was too successful. I want to say he was their OC for like a year or two while they were in San Diego. He was their quarterback coach, their offensive coordinator for 2 years. So I don't remember what they were like. He was with Phillip Rivers, but so that was 2014, 2015. I don't remember how successful they were. And then he went to Philly to be their offensive coordinator. So there is that. But my thoughts on Staley, I mean, I think he's too aggressive at times. I think choking a 27-point lead should not be, overlooked. But I think if he makes too many stupid decisions, because the problem is, I think the last few years is the Chargers, especially in 2020 when they had Anthony Lynn, they had some like really solid teams because that year they were top 10 in offense, top 10 in defense. And that's really what they've been the last few years, but it's been the coach holding them back and Staley being way too aggressive in some of these scenarios and just the stupidity. Like he used Austin Eckler like 3-4 times in the second half against the Jaguars, and Austin Eckler was killing them. So some of these just coaching decisions, it all adds up, no matter the team you have on the field and no matter what the record is. Where do you think Tom Brady is going next? I think it's either, in my opinion, he goes to Las Vegas or he retires.
I think it's Vegas. I don't think he's retiring. I think it's Vegas.
It would there's two telling tales for this. A, you don't want to go out like that because that's a piss poor way to go out.
Yes.
B, you're showing yourself, and obviously, look, there's a lot of situations over there. They just fired their OC. But the thing is, you don't have shit left in the tank, Tom.
No.
You don't. And you don't
I mean,
want
hey, he's not playing. His arm he's still slinging that thing around. It's not the same as it was. Obviously, it's not going to be the same, but it's not like Tom is losing games. He might have lost that one, but it's the defense, it's the offensive line. They didn't run the ball. The play calling's not great. They didn't run the ball at all this year. We were talking about playoff Lenny back when they won the Super Bowl. Where's that? I like that style of play too. I don't think Tom's done yet.
We'll see. Alex had a question. Who do you think will be off? I think he means offensive coach. I'm going to say Jeffrey, I'm going to either say Bill O'Brien or I'm going to say your tight ends coach, Nick Caley. That's two guys I think that will be in contention for that position. I don't think, if I'm being honest, I don't think the OC for the Patriots is a very hot commodity. Like, you think of the Chargers, that's a little bit more of a hot commodity. The Jets, not really. Some of these, like the Bucks, possibly, if they get a quarterback in there. He has a huge connection to Sirianni as well, so he get the OC job if you go back there. That's if Shane Steichen gets the a head coaching job somewhere. I don't see that. Jets have two best odds for Brady, apparently. Could shove it back to Belichick as well. Could be. I think Tom Brady goes to the Dolphins or the Raiders. I don't think the Dolphins are moving on from Tua. The longer Brady goes, the worse it's going to get. Baltimore definitely as well. I think Jackson's staying. To miss the Texans predictions? No, we literally are just on it. So, haven't done any predictions yet, but I'm going to rule out the candidates and then we'll go through it. So, candidates for head coaching vacancies are as follows. I'll go down the list, talk about where they are, where these candidates are, what they do. I'm going to start with Wink Martindale, the defensive coordinator of the New York Giants. What he is known for is obviously being the defensive coordinator of the Ravens as well. And basically, really lifting up the talent of this New York Giants defense, as me and SoxArizona have watched this year. Jeff Saturday has no prior coaching experience before this year, took a Colts team under his wing and was 1-7 with them. Mike Kafka, offensive coordinator of the New York Giants, him and Brian Daboll helped improve Daniel Jones and had some good concepts despite the lack of weapons and some of the offensive line issues and maybe some of the inconsistencies from Daniel Jones early on and the struggles. But he's a hot commodity, a little bit, not as much as the others. DeMeco Ryans, probably the hottest candidate on the market right now. DeMeco Ryans is the defensive coordinator of San Francisco. Thomas Brown, he is the tight ends coach of the LA Rams. He's getting some recognition because he is also the assistant head coach of the Rams. He might be one of the guys that follows up as offensive coordinator. Dan Quinn, defensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys, has had a pretty good defense over there the last few years. So there's that. And he's also probably looking to get back as a head coach. Another Dallas guy is Kellen Moore, their offensive coordinator. Very good offense the last few years. Raheem Morris, former Atlanta defensive coordinator, former defensive coordinator. Actually, no, he is the defensive coordinator of the Rams, former head coach of the Buccaneers. Frank Reich, as mentioned in the chat, former offensive coordinator of the Eagles and the Chargers, and most notably the former head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. Ken Dorsey, the offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills currently. He also has some connections to the Panthers as well, I believe. Leslie Frazier, the defensive coordinator of the Buffalo Bills, also former Vikings head coach. Brian Flores, former Dolphins head coach, current Steelers linebacker coach. He could also be in the cycle for a DC job. Shane Steichen, former offensive coordinator of the Chargers, current offensive coordinator of the Eagles. Jonathan Gannon, defensive coordinator of the Eagles. Eric Bieniemy, offensive coordinator for the Chiefs. Ben Johnson is going to be removed from this list because he is going back to Detroit. Brian Callahan, offensive coordinator of the Cincinnati Bengals. And finally, former Saints head coach, former Giants offensive coordinator, Sean Payton. Just going to read some comments and we'll go through our predictions. I think Ryan's is probably a lot of people are worried with Ryan's because he is Salah 2.0. I think he's more of a leader than Salah. Jeff Saturday only win was against the Raiders, and that's because the Raiders, not a very good team. Wink, stay please. I meant intriguing OC position. Oh yeah, for Baltimore, definitely. Went over that one. Why would he want to go to the Raiders? They suck and have no defense. I guess the connection to Josh McDaniels if he truly wants to go back, but retirement is also an option. So, from the Panthers, Broncos, Texans, Cardinals, and Colts, which one should we go to first, Sox? Panthers. So they are in contention for this one's an interesting one. The Panthers are in contention for Kafka. They also are interested in Martindale. They also want Sean Payton. They also
Frank Reich as well.
Frank Reich. I could see it as a fit. Also,
Yeah.
Steve Wilkes had them playing very, very hard down the stretch. I just want to get that record up with Steve Wilkes real quick, who's the former DC of the Browns, also DC of the Panthers. So with Carolina, he was 6-6. Give me Steve Wilkes to remain as the head coach of the Carolina Panthers.
I like that a lot. I was leaning that way as well. They played good under him. I like Frank Reich because he's trying to get a head coaching job. I think he deserves it. It's a good fit, I believe. I'm going to go with Frank Reich.
All right, so Sox says Frank Reich, and I will say Steve Wilkes. Here. All right. That Raiders coach did Rick Bisaccia, yes, and they fired him. Doubt Wilkes gets it. I mean, if they can't get Sean Payton, listen, obviously there's a lot of other attractive guys on the market in terms of head coaching, but he had them playing well down the stretch, even though it's going to be probably a total rebuild. Yes, Bill Belichick was the Giants defensive coordinator under Bill Parcells. Jacob thinks it's going to be Ken Dorsey. I think now, obviously, I'm not going to disrespect anyone's picks, but if Carolina were to do this, I think it's a little early. Ken Dorsey has only had 1 year as an OC. Think with Ryan. Oh yeah, already got to this one. Reich would be my number one. I think he could be a good coach if he gets a reliable OC. Let's go with the Arizona Cardinals next. This one's a little interesting. You're probably looking for more of an offensive guy. Damn. You know what? I'm gonna go Frank Reich.
Interesting. They did interview him, didn't they?
That they did. I think they did that within the past 2 days.
I leaning offense for the Cardinals, obviously, with that lineup. I'll just throw it out there. I think it's tough for guys like Wink and D'Amico Ryan to get interviews while they're trying to plan for big games in the playoffs. But I like D'Amico Ryan. I'm going to throw it out there for the Cardinals.
D'Amico Ryans, all right. D'Amico Ryans and he goes to a rival, no less. So that would be a pinch in the ass. They need a defensive mind, they need an offensive mind in Arizona. But hey, listen, things have happened before. Do you think the Broncos get Sean Payton? That's going to be one of our, obviously, next selections. All right, so we got the Colts, we got the Texans, and we got Colts, Texans, Broncos. Let's go to the Broncos now. I think they're going to do what it takes to get Sean Payton.
That's my pick, too.
Right, so Sean Payton is unanimous.
And I think if that happens, watch out for Russell Wilson, man.
Yeah, he could be something. I mean, he won't have Vic Fangio won't be going over there because I know he is going to be a part of Peyton's staff, but if he goes to the Broncos, that's not happening. Not a lot of defensive head coaches. That's an issue. Well, that's another issue for Wink and Ryans. For Ryans, I mean, yeah, it's an issue, but at the end of the day, let Wink stay in New York. And he said in that little speech of his, it's not really a stepping stone. It's a destination. Which one should we go to next? Texans or
Let's
Colts?
go to Colts. We'll finish it off with Tony's team.
I would say this, though, Carolina definitely has the financial backing to get Peyton as well. That they do, and they also want draft. They're going to give up the draft picks. They also got high draft picks, too, probably, unless that was given up in the Darnold or Mayfield trade. Go with the Colts. So, obviously, they interviewed Jeff Saturday. They're interviewing Kafka and Martindale on Sunday. This one's an interesting one. I feel like they don't care what type of mind they have as long as they have an offensive coordinator. What are you thinking here?
For some reason, I'm thinking that Wink gets the job. I don't know what it is. I've got a few friends that are Colts fans that actually like him a lot, and apparently Jim Irsay likes him. So unfortunately, I'm going to pick him, but I love Wink. I wish him and I like Kafka too. I hope they stay in New York, man.
I got Ryan's going there. Colts definitely could go defense. They have a solid defense. Shasta Hayes, man, thank you for tuning in, my brother.
Appreciate it. Hayes.
Of course, my irrelevant team is last. Well, they're last in a lot of things, but
Used to it, Tony.
Ryan's turned Arizona down. Interesting one. I had one in my head. I'm gonna go ahead and say, I mean, they like Saturday, which, I'm gonna go ahead and say Eric Bieniemy.
Okay.
Eric Bieniemy gets his first job. You say Wink.
I like Wink a lot, man. I was pleasantly surprised with his style.
I originally wanted when Pat Shermer was fired, I originally wanted him as the head coach. Wink was my top guy.
Okay.
And then, obviously they hired Joe Judge, but and then, obviously I wasn't too phased by him in 21 when we were firing Judge, because I'm like, you know what, let's just get Dable. And then we ended up with Wink in the same time. I think Mike Kafka's going to Indianapolis. Wink would definitely bring Roman as OC. Oh, yeah, he'd bring in Greg Roman as the OC. Definitely had a lot of connections between those two. And we're going to finish up with the Texans. Oh, boy. Sox, I'll let you go first.
I think they interviewed a lot of candidates, if I'm not mistaken. I think I heard that. And I like Ivero as their head coach.
Ivero, the
yes.
Rams secondary coach, if I'm not mistaken. No, actually, well, he was the Rams secondary coach. He was also the DC.
The DC, yes,
of the Broncos.
I'm gonna put him down there. I think they hire him. I think the Texans would go after a low key kind of name like that, and maybe make some waves in that division.
So, Kafka or Bieniemy, I think we get Fangio if Wink leaves. It's going to be interesting if that happens, Jacob, because two different types of systems. Like,
right.
Fangio runs more of a zone operated scheme. I have two names in my head. One's low key, one's not. One's like mid. Isn't Ryans from Texas? Let's take a look at that. DeMeco Ryans. From Alabama. He's from Alabama. Went to Alabama. He was a Houston Texan, though.
Okay.
That's a good point, Jacob. I don't think he's going there. I have two names in my head. Jonathan Gannon, the defensive coordinator from the Eagles, or Thomas Brown, the tight ends coach of the Rams. And you know what? Thomas Brown is going to be the next head coach.
Damn, okay.
I know Tony's going to be like, why did you not pick Wink? Why did you do this? They like low-key candidates.
They do.
They do. And I feel like Thomas Brown, for some reason, is going to get the job, kind of like David Culley got the job a few years ago. Gannon forgot about him. But to wrap it up, Panthers, I say Steve Wilkes. Sox is Frank Reich. Broncos, we both agree on Sean Payton. I say Thomas Brown for the Texans. Sox says Ejiro Vero, the defensive coordinator for the Broncos, was. Cardinals, I say Frank Reich. Sox says DeMeco Ryans. Colts, I say Eric Bieniemy, and Sox says Wink Martindale. I like Ryan's. Didn't Houston want Mayo from New England and he declined or something? Yeah, they're working on an extension for him to be like for him to stay in New England, but they're also looking at defensive coordinator, which is kind of an interesting turn of events. But I guess we could end it here. Sox, final thoughts.
Yeah, man, that was a good one. I like the engagement from the chat tonight. I appreciate you guys all being here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for Big Blue in the Bronx and Sox Arizona. Appreciate you guys being here every week. Go Giants, man. I hope they beat the hell out of Philly. I feel like it's going to be a shootout, which I'm okay with. I think somebody mentioned earlier that we don't want to be in a shootout, but I think Dayball and Danny are locked in and they're ready to go get a game-winning drive if they need to, just like we saw earlier on this year. I think Daniel Jones has 5 or 6 game-winning drives this year, so he's been there, man. Let's just go out and win a football game, and we appreciate you guys being here tonight. That's all I got, man.
Also sub up to Big Beat Reactions, just a few away from that 1,000 mark.
We'll get there.
You will get there. And we'll eventually get to 1,000 as well.
Yes.
I think Mike Kafka leaves. We'll promote Shea Tierney to OC. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Same number if Kafka leaves, Shea Tierney be OC because Jones is used to hearing his voice every day as QB's coach. That is a good point. I don't really see them going out of house for anything. But like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you know when the live stream Pop 2 drops. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate anyone who shared out. Tony, I know he shared us out. Shout outs to Jetsus Mess, who also shared us out. We appreciate you guys coming week after week, even though baseball is dead. Got Ryan staying with the Niners. So do I. We appreciate you guys every single week coming on here, supporting us. And tomorrow, just channel rundown, of course. You got Sox has got a video on Big Beat Reactions. It's Tony's favorite song, supposedly. I know he's probably going to jot down the LI song that was requested. But also, tomorrow at 5:30 is the Friday Night Knicks podcast with Luca and Donald. Knicks didn't play well on Wednesday, so that's going to be a big emphasis. Saturday is the Big Blue in the Bronx podcast live. We're going to have an Eagles writer on. So that's going to be fun to talk about. Obviously, predict some stuff with the game. Sunday is the call-in show at 8:30. And then Monday is Boys in Big Apple. Tuesday is Big Blue in the Bronx again, recapping the Eagles game. Do we move on or do we not? We'll see after this weekend. Peace out, guys. See you later. Stay cool.